Hi, Year 4s. Welcome back to school after the holidays. This video series is all about the Earth's surface, and this first video is about the formation of our solar system. We're going to start off with how the Sun was formed. Now, first of all, our solar system is the area in space that falls within the gravitational pull of our Sun. So because the Sun is the largest object in our solar system, it has the most gravity, and everything that is in orbit around it is because of that gravitational pull. Our Sun and our solar system began forming about 5 billion years ago from a giant spinning cloud of dust and gas called a nebula. Within that gas, it was mainly hydrogen and helium, 98% of hydrogen and helium. There were some other gases as well, and they were nitrogen, oxygen, and carbon. The core of the cloud started to come together through gravity. So gravity is a force that pulls things together. They started to come together and they became denser and hotter. It started to spin faster and faster and faster, and it became hotter and hotter and hotter and hotter and hotter and hotter, bringing all of those dust and stuff together, all those gases. Eventually, the increase of energy triggered a nuclear fusion, and our Sun was born. Just kidding, didn't look like that. Looked a bit more like that. And the Sun actually took about 10 million years to form. Crazy, right? Now we know how the Sun was formed, let's think about how the rocky planets were formed. Now, the lighter gases were pushed far out into the solar system with that nuclear fusion, that big sort of explosion that happened to bring together all of those elements into the Sun. Pushed away all the lighter gases, and what was left over were the heavier materials and the metallics that were sort of swirling around in that giant nebula. The molten metals, or the metallics, and the dust stuck together to form clusters. So you have a few bits of dust and a metal molecule or atom, and they'd stick together to form little clusters of material, and eventually they were drawn together through gravity, and those clusters became little rocks, and then bigger rocks and bigger rocks. Gravity pulled them all together to eventually form planets. And this process of rocks and debris coming together is called accretion. The closest to the Sun were the rocky planets with the metal cores, and that's where they were formed. And it took a long time. The Earth, the rocky planets were, Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Mars, as you hopefully should know. And about 4.6 million years ago, our Earth was born. Looked a bit like that. So nothing like what we see today, but it was just such an explosive time. It was so hot and volatile that it was just a ball of molten rock, pretty much. Now our gas giants, the gas planets beyond Mars, were formed a little bit differently, I should say. So in the outer regions of the solar system, further away from the Sun, it was colder. So, and the further away it got, it became colder and colder and colder. So little bits of water vapor that was out there had started to condense, and it turned into ice particles. The ice combined with the metallics that were floating around, and they eventually formed giant cores for those giant gas planets to form. The gases that were blown away with the birth of the Sun were attracted to those big cores through gravity. And with the accretion of all the ice and the gas, when it was all complete, we were left with those giant gas planets of Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. Oops, too far. That's the end of the first video. I hope that made a little bit of sense. It's a really, really, really full-on complicated thing to squeeze into 5 minutes, how our solar system was born and became the way it is today. So that's just the crux of it, short and sweet, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!